when you are flying an airplane and the instructor jumps out of the airplane and you find out you're on your own, after you come back down, they want to cut off your tie. You don't have a tie, so I'm good. You know, what a beautiful day. We're so blessed to be here in this atmosphere of love. And today, as was told, we're focusing on renewal and transformation. Stella and I spent this last week in Atlanta, Georgia. And it was kind of an awesome, it's our annual conference that we did in Atlanta. And we had people coming from all over the world, from Canada, from Europe, and of course the United States. And it was just wonderful. And what happened was by Friday, everybody wanted to wanted to talk to us and a meeting with us. So by Friday, we're like this, just totally drained. But what was kind of neat about what came to us is this: as we experienced these people who wanted to hug and say thank you for all these wonderful programs we had, the thought came to us that, you know, we're here representing the Positive Living Center of Oakhurst, California. We're experiencing and we're representing your love energy, because you're the mother, you're the birthplace of where all these programs started. So we were there for you. And many of you have been our inspiration. You've supported what we're doing, and it's gone viral. We've got people all over there. We have people in 17 countries now doing prayer treatment and taking the. So I want to say thank you. You're doing it. And we're your representative. We took your loving conscience with us, and it exhausted us because everybody wanted to thank you. So thanks a lot. But you know, it was pretty good, and so let's clap for you. Today we're going to talk about 3 major shifts we've got to do in consciousness that will empower our lives. And what these 3 major shifts that we're going to talk about will do, it'll ignite your human potential. What is that? You know? It's igniting the fact that you are eternal, creative, spiritual beings, that you are a life form of this divine. And therefore you're empowering yourself to look at and view life in a little different way. And so this idea of transformation, we said, well, what the heck is that? We have a tendency to put labels on everything sometimes, and we give, what is transformation? And what is, well, we know renewal, don't we? We see it all over the place. We see the revivalation and violation. We blamed it on last week. We see the renewal in nature, and we see the deer. We have 25 of them that hang around our house and eat all of our plants, but we see the deer changing their winter coats in the fall and winter, and then all of a sudden they've got the summer coat on. So there's that transformation that's going on. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, hey, we can learn from nature. And what does that mean? It means that the universe has provided us the means to make that transformation, to make that change. We can see it in nature, we can learn from it. And the difference here is this: in nature it comes automatically. For Angelo, it's not automatic, you know. Sure, there are things that I need to hang on to, that I am hanging on to, memories and old belief systems and all that stuff, but it doesn't come automatic. We have to work at it. And we're all great messengers. We can really let people know how we feel. I'm in Oakhurst, and I experience that all the time. We have people telling us how they feel, what they believe in, and why your belief system is not so cool. We have people telling us that. And so we are good messengers. But what this is all about this month is becoming the message itself. In other words, we really live and breathe and walk that which we are. We're a creative, eternal being. And everything we do is we rise to that higher level of consciousness, and we're not kowtowing to the stuff of what's going on. In other words, we're not under the domain of the physical. We are empowered spiritual beings who are enjoying and experiencing the human drama. And so that's the idea of this, is that we're here to enjoy all the diversity that the universe has provided to us, to enjoy it and to spiritually grow from it. That's the 2 key words. And so this is the month of that, of reawakening and understanding what that's all about. This first shift in consciousness, and mystics call it soul esteem. How many of you ever heard of soul esteem? We know what self-esteem is, but soul esteem, this is a transformation we need to think about this month, is how do we bring into our consciousness the idea of soul esteem. Many years ago, I was asked to go to a meeting here in Oakhurst. They were going to have all the business people and all the people active in the community to come up and to look at all the important stuff that's going on in eastern Madera County and to come up with solutions to those things. So I sat there and the facilitator stood up and said, thank you for being here. Here's our mission, our goal. Here's what we're going to do. Now let's go around the table. There are like 25 of us. Let's go around the table and identify ourselves. This is the key. When I hear that word identity, identify, it triggers something in me. And so I sat there and it went around the table, and there are people that represented the senators and the assembly people, and they all said, oh, I'm so-and-so, and here's all my titles, and here's all the good achievements we've done, and here's all the stuff. And it went around the table, and I sat there, oh gosh. And it finally came to Angelo, and I thought, should I be honored or not? Because if I said, I'm an eternal, I am not that stuff, I'm an eternal being, and they'd look at me and say, oh, he's that nutcase from the PLC cult. So anyway, I made one statement. I said, you know, I'm Angelo Pizelo, the founder of Positive Center and Emerson Institute, and I shut up. And they looked at me and said, my God, this guy's nothing. And then a friend of mine in the audience, he said, oh, Angelo, every time I'm at one of these, you're so humble, you're selling yourself short. Angelo is the president of the Chamber of Commerce. Well, here's the cult leader as the president of the Chamber of Commerce. Well, anyway, he's the president of the Chamber of Commerce. He's got a doctorate in school administration, and he's run our school districts for the past 10 or 15 years, and he started going on and on. I'm sat there just saying, at what point are we going to have transformation that we are not our stuff? This is not who I am. You know, I'm something way beyond that stuff. And so anyway, this month we're going to go into, the first one is soul esteem. What is it? Well, soul esteem has to do with identifying with the core of our belief system, core of who we are. When I have somebody come into my face and they want to punch me out, I don't swear at them any longer, or use the F word like I used to do when I was in the Marine Corps. No, I don't. I never have done that. But I realize internally I am this divine energy that is not dependent on the physical environment. I'm here to enjoy the diversity, including this guy who's in my face. I'm here to enjoy it. And what else? And I can learn by it. I can really learn by what's going on. So if I have a tendency to get angry back, then I have to look within myself and say, there's something within my physical being that's resonating with that may be true. So that's what we mean by soul esteem, is identifying with the glory that we are at all times, no matter what, and rising above the physical. It's really important. We had a gal at our conference, and it was, I don't know how many of you know about Barbara King. Barbara King, she's well known on the East Coast, and she's a founder, and I wrote it down because I always forget who she's a founder of, the Hillside International Truth Center in Georgia. Well, she's a nationally known person who does seminars, retreats, and she's written several books. She's embodied this idea of oneness, this awakening. And so she came into the thing, and I've known her for years, and she's awesome. She's 7 feet 5 inches tall. She has to stoop over to go through a doorway. 7 feet 5 inches tall, and she stands there and talk about embodiment. She says, I'm 84 years old and I ain't done yet. And so she went on and on. And basically what she said was, I'm here and I'm going to spend many years providing services to humanity, just getting this truth out there to the world, to impress people about our divine, inner divine entity that we are. And just an amazing example of it. Developing soul esteem means that we accept, we embody, we embrace the fact that I am a soul. That's what I am. I'm a soul. And I'm not this problem. I can't be affected by what's going on. I'm here to witness it, to learn from it a little bit, and to let it go. That's what we mean by transformation and renewal. And so when I'm sitting around the table, and they're saying all these great things about each one of us, we know that our titles, our degrees, everything that we think that's so important to us, don't mean dilly squat. It really doesn't. Not one of those things has ever created an environment within that brings our tremendous spirit consciousness into the mix at all. None of it has ever created anything for us in our life. They just aren't, it's just not important. And the situation that we face every year, and as a minister, you look at that and you're counseling people, and when people are right there at the last part, of they're ready to leave the planet, they don't worry about their antiques. You can't take one penny with you when you leave. What do we take with us when we go and graduate to the next dimension? What do we take with us? We take our consciousness, our love energy. That's all that's important. So, and a lot of times when people are in that position, they're ready to go, they're between worlds. And they realize, I've spent a lifetime worrying about all this stuff that doesn't mean kidding squat in my life. So why spend so much time doing that? I like the Indian philosopher Krishnamurti. God, I love this guy. And he said the key to soul esteem of building that is to put this in consciousness. Never mind what happens. And he was ready to leave the planet. He's traveled for years, and for 50 years he's given this message out. Never mind what happens, because it doesn't mean squat. Never mind what happens. You're here to witness what's going on, but never mind what happens. And that was the secret of this man Krishnamurti's success. And he touched the hearts of many. People who develop soul esteem do what the mystics call, and I Pizeloize that today, inner non-resistance. That's cool. Inner, what does that mean? It means a so what attitude. That's Pizeloize. So instead of inner non-resistance, who knows what that is? It's being so what? I don't have to resist what's going on. It's just going on. Let it go through my life and release it. For goodness sakes, don't take it home to mommy or talk about it. Just let it go. Inner non-resistance, or developing a so what attitude. You accept that? Yeah. So what? So what attitude? The second one is, I'm talking too much. Anyway, let's go. You did over 20 minutes, actually. Okay, we'll get through all three. Okay, we'll speed it up. The second one is to imagine the unrealistic, the unbelievable, imagine it as being possible. Ha! Woo-hoo! Well, so we're the soul, and all of a sudden I can imagine the unreliable. And mystics tell us, hey, listen, the medical diagnosis into itself is fatal. Yes. And so if we buy that as truth, then we're going to kill ourselves. You might as well just hang it up. They want to pump you full of drugs and all that. However, if we realize this, that Angelo as a soul cannot have any disease. There's no disease possible because I'm whole, complete, and in perfect order. And besides, I'm eternal. Ha ha! Yeah, I'm eternal. Yeah, get in my face about my beliefs, and so what? I was here before the beginning, and I'll be here way after. So anyway, the bottom line is that I used it. I only once so far. The bottom line. The thing is that what we need to look at is whatever's happening, if it's illogical, unrealistic, unbelievable, it's possible. Because as a soul, nothing, no thing is impossible. Do you buy that? Yes. Well, clap for spirit. So part of that, and this is kind of controversial, my brothers here in the ministry would say you're full of it, but anyway, I'm going to say it anyway. Once we do imagine that impossible, unrealistic, etc., then we say this: there's nothing to heal in my life, only something to be revealed. Can we accept that? Because that's what Mags is preaching, the awakening. When we finally realize, I have nothing to heal, because I'm perfect, I'm eternal. My body may be having a few problems,